Hello. Melissa May Dillon here, live on my personal page on Facebook, and then we upload it to my YouTube channel at Melissa May Dillon. If you're on the YouTube channel, please make sure to hit that subscribe. And whether you are on Facebook or on YouTube, if there's any thoughts you want to share with me, anything that resonates with you, please drop a comment in the comments. I would love to be able to hear from you. And I want to make sure that I am actually live on my personal page, because I just went live and I was live in my Facebook group, and that's not what I meant. I wanted to be live on my personal page, and I am. Yay. Okay. And do I have sound? Yes. Okay. All right. I didn't have sound before. I just want to double check. Okay. So I am super stoked and excited to share what I have to share with you right now, because this is going to change everything. So I have been in the personal development space for quite a while, and simplest version is, and I think most of you already know, like I am calling in people who are already desiring to make changes in their life. And so a lot of the people that I already have on my page have kind of been in this journey for a while. But just in case you don't know, personal development is all about developing yourself as a person. It's realizing that there are things you need to learn, things you need to grow, evolutions that you need to have within yourself, so that you can show up as your best version of yourself, that you can wake up loving your life, feeling good every day, and just enjoying the time that you have here on the planet. And so I began personal development when I found myself, I literally was like crying in my bed in the fetal position, like not understanding. I'm doing all the things I'm supposed to be doing. I went to college. I got a good job. I'm working my job, and my life just sucks. And I feel like I just want to die. Like I didn't feel, I was like, something is wrong. Something is not right. And I had reached out to a friend, and he had told me to watch the movie The Secret. And this began my journey of personal development. And the thing with personal development is, like, there's all kinds of information out there, right? Even my channel is personal development. My YouTube channel is personal development. Like, there's books you can read, there's courses you can take, there's all kinds of stuff. And it's like trying to figure out, it's like this massive puzzle, and you're grabbing like one little piece at a time and trying to get the full picture of, like, how do I wake up every day loving my life? What is preventing me from that? How do I shift those things? What are basically we need like a human 101. And I have been asking for a human 101 all the time. I've debated about making a human 101 course or class or whatever. And unbeknownst to me, my sister actually made human 101. She's not calling it human 101. That's my nickname for it. But she has developed this program called Self that is like, it, for me, just lesson one, this is a 12-week program, but I just did lesson one. And just lesson one alone, it feels like where you have this massive puzzle, this picture you're trying to put together of personal development and how do I wake up each day loving my life? Why do I make the choices that I make? Like, so many of us, we have this desire for a job or a business or something that, like, we want to create something, we want to do something. And then when we start to do it, something talks us out of it. Or we want to be in a relationship, but we just can't handle the emotions and the feelings, and we shut down, and then we sabotage our relationships. So a lot of us have sabotage behavior. A lot of us, we have these desires and these passions, and then we just won't move forward towards them. And then we don't understand why we won't move forward towards them. And then we start beating ourselves up for not moving towards them, because you read this book on motivation and it says that you should be doing the things every day, but then you just can't do the things every day, and you don't understand exactly what's stopping you. And you've heard things about, maybe I got a money block, and maybe I got this block. And then so you're like chasing little things to try to dig into certain little aspects so that you can understand this full picture of who you are as a human. And it's like, well, if we can just have an understanding of who we are as a human and why we're operating the way that we're operating without having to dig into all these tiny little aspects to maybe eventually figure it out, it would be so much easier. And that is what I saw in lesson one of my sister's Self program. And I'm like, oh, this is what we need. This is what we need in school curriculum. This is what every human should be just handed, the Self program, so that we know, because the majority of our problems that we have is that we are raised by humans who don't know what they're doing, and they were raised by humans who don't know what they're doing, and they were raised by humans who don't know what they're doing. And we're just constantly in this cycle of nobody knows what they're doing. And then we look back at our parents, like, as we grow up, we learn some things, we understand some things. And then we go, well, why did you do that? Why did you make that decision? You could have been completely different. You could have made a completely different choice. You could, and then I would have been raised better, and then I wouldn't have these problems. And now I have these problems, and now I have to go to therapy to solve them. And you just could have been a better parent. But the thing is, like, they didn't know either. They're also in the same position you're in, where they look at their parent and they go, why did you do that? Why? Well, you could have made a different choice. So we're constantly being raised by people who don't know what they're doing because we're not taught as humans what to do. And this is like, I'm in Melanie Ann Layer's programs. She has the most epic, amazing programs ever on the planet. And I highly recommend her all the time. She was a woman who was homeless in her car in 2016 and then figured out how to fall in love with her life, started teaching other people how to fall in love with their life, and has since built a $100 million brand. And it's absolutely epic and amazing. And, or she's going to cross 100 million this year. So I have signed up to join every program that she has, and she has this amazing program. It's one of her signature programs. It's something that she taught on repeat over and over again, and it's called Femme Fatale. And in Femme Fatale, she calls it as like a rite of passage that, you know, we were not raised with understanding who we are and how we are. And she speaks to this, and she, you know, teaches you different things about how to grow into that and how to, you know, step into the goddess that you are instead of remaining into this like almost childlike state that most of us tend to be in. But, and I love Femme Fatale, and I've gone through, this is my second time. I'm going to continue going through it over and over again, but there was always a longing in me that like, there needs to be a more concrete version of this. Like, I know as a teacher that people learn differently, and that we need to, you know, perhaps see visuals. We need a little bit of a presentation. We need a little bit of a workbook. We need some like concrete things that will help sink this in, and not just hearing somebody speak about it. And I was like, there needs to be a curriculum for this. And Melanie even said, like, I don't know why there's not a curriculum for it. And I'm like, I just realized my sister wrote the curriculum. She made the book. She made the program. And I am so super stoked to continue going through the program because this is absolutely epic. And everything that she learned in lesson 1, it's like, I've learned those things, but I've never seen it quite talked about in that way with such beauty and love and care and compassion in the way in which she taught it and the way in which she spoke about it. And it's like, if we just understood some very simple things about who we are as humans and why we do what we do, we can change everything moving forward. And there's one part of the program that I wanted to share, and it's absolutely amazing. So again, this is not necessarily a relationship program. This is a how to human program, but she used a relationship as an example so that she can, you know, use something that most of us are familiar with. So she said, like, let's say you're in this circumstance where my boyfriend says he isn't happy with our relationship, right? So the thoughts that we have generally, so if you're in a relationship and your boyfriend says, I'm not happy, our thoughts will generally go towards, I'm not enough. He probably found someone better. Everyone always leaves me. Why is he doing this to me? If you resonate with that, if that's kind of how you have had thoughts, let me know, right? The feelings that we will generally have are that we feel unworthy, we feel unattractive, we feel jealous, insecure, sad, and angry. So our boyfriend expresses he's not happy in our relationship, and those tend to be the feelings that come up. And then the actions that we generally take are that we are shut down, we pull away, we minimize ourselves, we become passive aggressive, and then we place blame. And the results of that is that we are, and she actually made this like as a workbook, it's freaking amazing. The results are I am less appealing to be around. I affirm his experience. He is even more unsatisfied than before, and he leaves. So literally we create this reality because as soon as he expresses he's unhappy, we have all of these feelings. We have all these feelings and all these emotions that basically create a story that further pushes him away, further confirms how he's feeling, and then it's done and it's over and we confirmed ourselves. So a reframed version of that, when you understand how to human 101, which is what I'm nicknaming the self program, when you are coming from that place and you understand different things, your circumstance would be, again, my boyfriend says he's unhappy in our relationship. And our thoughts would be, my partner's happiness is important to me. I am so happy he felt safe enough to express his feelings. Relationships take work, and I am open to that work. What a massive shift that is, right? Going from, I'm not enough, he probably found someone better, to, wow, my partner trusts in me so much that he is sharing this with me so that we can work on it, so that we can shift this, right? So then your feelings in that frame of mind are that I am motivated, I'm inquisitive, I'm curious about why he's feeling that way, I'm understanding, I am compassionate. And so then the actions that I take are that I'm going to lean in, I'm going to find resources to help, I'm going to ask questions to further understand his feelings. And then the results in that situation would be we feel more connected, we increase dialogue, we're talking better, we work through and resolve conflict, we are both happier with our relationship. And how amazing, like that quick reframe of seeing my boyfriend says he's unhappy, and then I make it all about me. I blame, I shame, I go into fear, I go into worry, I go into doubt, I make the relationship even more unhappy, and then I get the result that he breaks up with me. And it was this ugly, self-fulfilling prophecy. But when we understand ourselves, and when we understand our thoughts, our body, our mind, what does she call it? Our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions. When we can understand our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions, and understanding where they come from, how they're generated, and how to, use them properly, then we can have a complete reframe where we go, oh my gosh, he expresses unhappiness. This is such an opportunity for us to learn and grow together. I am deeply committed to my partner, and I want to understand him even further. I want to do what it takes with him so that we can both feel happy and amazing. And so instead of like all of this yuckiness and this anger and this sadness and this blame, you're moving from a place of we get to grow, we get to evolve, we get to make a relationship even better. But it can be really hard to jump to that point if you don't understand as a human how you're operating and how most people are operating on the planet. And it's incredible and so beautiful the way that my sister broke this down in lesson 1. I don't know if you can still sign up to see lesson 1, but I'll drop the link in the comment for the self program. And I know she also talks about it on her Facebook page, so I'll tag her in it as well so you can learn more. But whether or not you can join this self program right now, I so recommend following my sister and learning from her so much, because who I am today comes from like my sister. Like she's the one who like really pushed it. So like I had told her, we got to watch The Secret. And I'm the one who like, it's been this like back and forth relationship with my sister where I'm like, I'll trigger something and then she'll go into it. And then she'll share with me, and then we go back and forth with this stuff. And there was a moment in time where where I would say my sister figured out some stuff before me about personal development, about being a better person, about all this stuff. She figured out more stuff than me. And I would come to her with a problem. I'd be like, oh, my boyfriend said this, or this happened, or this happened. And she would challenge me on it. And she would turn it back to me. And I would be so mad. And I would be so angry. I'm like, you just don't understand. You don't care. And she was trying to reframe for me how I was thinking about the situation. And so it caused me to develop. It caused me to grow. She was constantly triggering me. Like I kept looking up to her and I kept going to her for advice. And then she would tell me that I'm the problem. I'm the reason. It's not everyone around you. It's you. You're the one. And I'm like, how very dare you? But when I really dug into it and I really started going through it, I'm like, it's really allowed me to become the person that I am today, to have the success that I've had, to be able to do the things that I do. And so my sister is absolutely amazing. She's been one of my best teachers here on the planet. And I am so excited that she basically has this 101 curriculum on how to human. This knowledge that almost all of us are lacking on how to operate. I've preached about this before constantly. We are not taught that we are powerful beings. We were not raised to understand how we think, how we feel, and how we operate. We were not taught emotional regulation. And it's like, until we learn these things, until we harness this inner calm, until we understand how we're humaning and how we're operating, and we can't really make a lot of changes in our life. But once we begin to understand this, we can unlock so much power. We can unlock so much wisdom. So you can check the link, but also check out my sister's page. I'll tag her in the comments as well. It's Sarah Gomez. She's amazing and incredible, and she's got a podcast coming out. And so anything like, oh my God, like I am like 100% behind getting this like literally we need to make a kid version of this curriculum. It almost is like it's so easy to understand. It's so simple to understand. Sarah will change your life. My life has not been the same since she came into it. So much love and gratitude for this woman. Absolutely. Even like her up level course, which she's going to work on presenting and teaching as well. Like, oh my gosh, all the work my sister does is amazing. I didn't fully know what she was doing until I went to a retreat. Cause there was a point where she had a physical business. She was selling like shakes at a shake restaurant or a shake shop. And she would talk to people as they came in to get their shakes, and they would ask her more. And so she started teaching courses to the people in her physical building. And I didn't know what she was doing because I didn't really live there anymore, and I wasn't going into her shake shop. But she was like, I'm teaching people up level. I'm teaching people their emotions. I'm teaching people stuff. And I didn't really know fully what it was. But we were having a conversation one day, and I had already started my insurance exam queen business at this point. And I was like, what is it that you actually want to do? Because she actually manifested this amazing situation. She's like, I just want a sugar daddy who will just give me what I want without needing anything from me. And she actually almost kind of manifested that exact situation, but it's not really what she wanted. She didn't want everything that she wanted to come through one person, and I said, and this person, it was so funny because she was like, oh my God, this person showed up. They want to give me everything I want. And then I was like, well, what do you want? She's like, I want this, this, and this. And then she told that to the person. So I'll give you that. And then she sit with it. She goes, you know what? That's not quite right either. I really want this, this, this. And the person's like, okay, I'll make that happen. And she goes, that's not quite right either. I want this, this. And I'm like, Sarah, like, what do you actually want? Not what do you think you can get, but what do you actually want? And she goes, I actually just want to teach this in retreats. I want to have people come in, and I want to soak them in the things that I have to teach and the things that I have to learn. I said, then that's what we're doing. She's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, we're going to book an Airbnb. You're going to have a retreat. You're going to invite people. You already have people following you. You already have people that buy your stuff. You already have people who want to learn more from you. We're going to host a retreat. Well, I don't have the money for the Airbnb. I will get it. I was so behind supporting her business and so behind supporting what she was doing. And I went to that retreat, and it was the first time I learned what she was teaching. I didn't even know. I didn't even know exactly. Her and I had these conversations, and we had talked about this stuff, but I never went through her actual lessons. And I was blown away. I was blown away by what she was sharing and what she was teaching, and how simple she made it, how easy she made it, and that she typed it up. She even had like a little workbook, and it was just so awesome. And this one that she has for self is even more amazing. There's a section where you can, so this is the self, and there's like an section that explains the stuff. There's the example, the reframe, and then you can do it for yourself. And that's just a sneak peek of lesson 1. I don't even think that's the full entire workbook, but she's going to have this for every single 12-week program. I am so super stoked. This is, like I said, this is going to change everything. It's going to change everything, especially if we can get this curriculum out into the whole world. And that is definitely something that I am signing up for, because this curriculum needs to be everywhere. All right, I'm going to let you all go. Follow my sister, check out her stuff. She's absolutely amazing and incredible. And I think she's got a podcast out there somewhere. I got to find the link for that. And I just love you all so much. And I know this is going to change the game for everyone. And I'm like, how do we make this free? I'm like, everyone needs to see this. I'm like, how? Can I buy this for the world? Can I just get everyone to sign up for this program? Because if we all understood this, we'd all be operating so much better. So I'm going to work with her on figuring out how we can get this to the masses, because we got to get this to the masses. So I love you all so much. Have an amazing day. I'll see you later. Bye.